This is a training video for Highland Mutual on the Weebly website editing. To start out, you want to go to Weebly.com, and from there you'll see a page that looks like this. You can click on Login in the upper right, and then enter your email address, which is saved in here, and the password provided on your red sheet. That will take you to a page that's sort of the interim step that has things like your account information. There's some reporting here that's helpful. If you click on reports and summary or site traffic, either one, in site activity, you can see how many visitors and when and what times, all that information, all the analytic information is there. And then there's some other features in there as well. A lot of them aren't used on this particular site, but you can change out any account information in this upper right if you needed to change a password or billing information. Anything along those lines is in the upper right. But to edit the website, what you want to do is go back to Overview and click on Edit Site in the upper right. Weebly is pretty user-friendly in that there are boxes containing either photos or text. I'm going to drag this out just a little bit wider here so that you can see the navigation at the top. And the boxes you can see when you roll over. So you can see that there are various boxes that make up this site that contain things like the logo, the text, the headline here, another a subhead, and then this little, sometimes you'll see ones like this that are blank. Those are just spacers to kind of allow an adequate amount of space between items. This one has a button in it, and when you click on those, you get the options. So you could change out the button text, you could change where it links to. Currently, this one links to the contact page. You can even change the button style and what it looks like. And then with text, you just roll over it and you'll see the box, and you get a few just basic editing tools, bold, italics, underline, and this is the font larger or smaller. You can change the color of the font. Most of those should be probably just black or white anyway. You can change any links within the text. For instance, this right now is linked, you can see, to the Embark Mail email address. You could change that or remove it, or even if you selected a different word and hit link, it would allow you to link it to another website, page, an outside URL, all different things, a phone, a file, an email address. And then as we scroll down, you can see there are photos that are in individual boxes. When you click on those, it'll let you edit the image or replace the image. There's a lightbox feature, which is just sort of a little fancy pop-up look. You can link it to something else. You can align it within the box, change the spacing, the caption, and then there's a few advanced features, that borders and things like alternative text. All of these items are in this left-hand navigation under Build. So as long as you're on Build, which is the default, you'll see these items over here to the left that you can drag in. And all of the items also fall within a section. So for instance, it's pretty self-explanatory, but if I click here on this background picture, that is the section that the white box and the text and everything is in. And so this section has a background image in it. And you can see that right now it's this field and sky image, and you can change that, you can replace it, you could change it out to be color. For instance, this section just has a white background color, no picture in it. In this one, if I click on this section, the background is this sort of gray-blue color. So generally, if you're adding something major to the site, you're going to first drop in a section, and then you can choose what items go in there. And these are sort of like pre-made layouts that they're letting you choose from. Maybe it's a photo gallery or contact or menu or featured item. You can choose any of those, or you can just go over here and choose one of the individual elements. For instance, I could drag in an image, and now right now the image is filling the whole space, but let's say I really want text beside that image. So now I have a box to add my text. I can click to upload my image, and then I'm going to choose title, and I'm going to put that at the top. So I have the title at the top, And then there's text in the space, and then I could upload an image here, choose one from my my desktop, let's say. This one doesn't relate to you at all, but we'll choose it. And now I have an image, a space for text, and a title at the top. And then, of course, you can change this section to have a different background color. I could pick something else, maybe just gray. And you can make all of those edits just within the section. So that's basic editing. You'll see that there are a lot of individual elements as far as image, gallery, slideshow. You can add in video, just the basic spacers to kind of add space between elements. But all of these elements do slide around so that if I wanted the picture to be smaller, I can literally just grab this line and drag it up and down to make the image smaller, the image side smaller, and the text side larger, or reverse. And if I needed a third one in there, let's say I wanted another box for text, just drag it down in place. You'll see the blue line highlight. And now I have a box for text here, a box for text here, and then the box with the image in it. So it'll keep creating columns for me as long as I keep dragging items in. Buttons are just as simple. I can put a button at the bottom by dragging it down here until I see the blue line at the bottom. Release that, and now I have a button ready to set up. I can set up the link, the button text, and all of those things that we looked at. There's several other features that I haven't discussed. They get a little more complicated as they go down. For instance, you could put specialized code in there, let's say for PayPal or something along those lines. A lot of times that's a payment issue. You could drop in a map. There are forms that you can use, and we've already built one in your site, but there's a number of other things that can be added into the website. After you've made all of the changes that you want to make, be sure to hit the blue Publish button in the upper right-hand corner. And what that does is it saves all of the changes and publishes them to the internet. There really is no undo in Weebly, and so what I'm going to do here is just X out of all of these items, which will delete them off the page since I don't want to keep those. So it sort of saves as it goes along, and there's no good way to undo. So I'm just going to delete out those pieces. Now at the top we do have a couple of other options. This is Pages. Pages shows you exactly that, the pages that are in the website, so that you can click through and look at the different pages, get to those, make changes. You can also do that by clicking on the navigation. If I wanted to go to Agents, I could click up here and get to that as well. And you can see all of those. Right now, those are all visible, and there are no sub-items to those. So you can make sub-items just by dragging them in. And for instance, About went away up here, and now it's underneath Home as a drop-down item. Since we want that right in the navigation, I'm just going to bump that back out, and you'll see that it will move back up here to the top. Next we have the theme. You really don't need to change this most likely. The only thing you might want to change is if you have a font that's really giving you problems, you could click on Change Fonts and then edit those. And then from there, there's apps, which we don't have any being used in this site currently. And we have settings. Most of this has already been set up for you, but you can certainly take a look at any of those settings, make sure that's all correct, and set any additional SEO information. That's something that could be filled out in a little more detail. But anytime you make a change, just be sure to hit the blue Publish button in the upper right. If you have any questions, feel free to call us here at Firehouse at 573-893-6937. Thank you.